Guys, looking at learning target 6E. Here's what it says. I can classify a number as rational or irrational. So we really need to be knowing what those two words mean. And the vocabulary of that will help us get to the answer here. So I'm going to skip question 1 and I'm going to go to question number 2. Explain how you can determine whether or not a number is rational. So by knowing the two definitions of what these are and what they are not, you can now answer the questions above. So that's what we're going to do. An irrational number is very specific. It is a number that does not terminate. And the word terminate means ends. So an irrational number is a number that does not end, like pi. 3.14159 and so on and so on and so on and so on, and they still haven't found an ending place, and they still haven't found a repeating place, and that's the other part. So an irrational number is a number that does not terminate or does not end, and it also does not repeat. That's your definition of irrational. So if you know the definition of, oops, I spelled this wrong, there's only one R. If you know the, is there one R or two? I don't know. One R. I don't know. It's either one R or two R, but I'm moving on. Does not repeat and does not terminate. That is the definition of an irrational number. A rational number is therefore everything that an irrational number is not. So a rational number is any number that can be turned into a fraction, And so that means that a non-terminating decimal cannot be turned into a fraction, right? But a repeating decimal can, even though it never ends, it has a repeat. And so if it has a repeat, it's rational. So for example, 0.9 repeating can be turned into 9 over 9, which is a number 1, right? 0.72 repeating can be turned into 72 over 99. The number -1/2 is a fraction, so therefore, if I'm circling all the rational numbers, it's rational. The mixed number is a rational number because it can be turned into a fraction, which it isn't a fraction. -12 can be turned into a fraction because -12 is the same thing as -12 over 1. 4.6 is rational because 4.6 can be represented as 4 6/10, and that's rational. 3.14 is terminating. It does not say it goes on and on and on forever. Do not get that confused with pi. That is just a terminated number that is similar to pi, but it's still not pi because it's not going on and on. So it is rational because it can be 3 and 14/100ths. The number square root 9 is the same number that is 3, and therefore it's rational because the number 3 can be represented as 3 over 1. The number 22 over 7 is already a fraction, so therefore it's rational. And the number 345 repeated is the same number as 345 over 3 nines, and therefore is rational because it is a fraction. So I left out everything that is not rational. These dots right here indicating that it goes on and on and on and on forever, and therefore because it does not end, it is not rational and therefore cannot be a fraction. Pi is our number 1 number that people know as irrational that goes on forever, so therefore it cannot be turned into a fraction. And square root 2 is not a perfect square, and any square root that is not a perfect square goes on forever and is irrational and cannot be turned into a fraction. All right? Going down and continuing your work down below and identifying those parts and turning it in. Good luck, guys.